Best songs we've ever written are the songs that we wrote really together, I think.
What would you say those are?
Well, they're most of the ones that everyone knows, you know. I mean, I don't know, the most popular ones, you might say, you know, from...
The Rolling Stones. Just uttering those few words conjures images of raw energy, rebellious spirit, and timeless rock and roll.
Now, for all you youngsters that stayed up late, we have a special added attraction. Another number by the Rolling Stones. And, boy, aren't... Here it comes. Here it comes.
For over 6 decades, Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, and the late Charlie Watts, alongside their changing cast of bassists and guitarists, have crafted a catalogue that defines an era and continues to resonate with generations. From gritty blues to sprawling epics, their songs are the soundtrack to countless lives, capturing the zeitgeist with an effortless swagger. Selecting just 10 is akin to choosing your favourite child, but here we attempt to distill the essence of their genius into a definitive countdown of their very best. Our countdown begins with a track that epitomises the relaxed, yet utterly compelling groove of the Stones' seminal album, Exile on Main Street. Released in the spring of 1972, Tumbling Dice perfectly captures the loose, almost ramshackle brilliance that defines that double record. The song's lyrics, penned largely by Mick Jagger, delve into the world of a gambler unable to settle down, a metaphor that could easily describe the band's own itinerant lifestyle at the time, as tax exiles recording in the south of France.
You've been living in France for a while due to various reasons. Are you thinking of coming back to England when the time you've got to be outside of your next house? Well, coming back to live.
Well, living here, I don't know, it's nice to live here, really. It's a good place to sort of base yourself. Better than France.
Keith Richards reflected on the track's origins in his autobiography, Life, noting, "I remember writing the riff upstairs in the very elegant front room, and we took it downstairs the same evening and we cut it." The recording process itself, in the sweltering basement of Villa Nelcote, was notoriously challenging. Engineer Andy Johns recalled the effort involved, saying it was like pulling teeth to get a satisfactory take, with some claiming it took over 100 attempts to nail the elusive feel. Yet the end result is pure alchemy. Charlie Watts' subtle, propulsive drumming, Keith Richards' signature open G riff, and Mick Jagger's effortlessly cool vocals. It's a masterclass in understated power, a rolling, tumbling testament to their collective genius. Released in the spring of 1971, Brown Sugar exploded onto the scene as the opening track of the iconic album Sticky Fingers.
Brown Sugar, basically all Mick, I think it's one of the first rock and roll that Mick wrote by himself basically all the way through. I showed Mick this 5-string tuning, you know, this thing, and he's great. He went back and learned it, and I was really amazed. But basically, that song was basically all Mick. I really just arranged it a little and got the sound down on it.
It's a powerhouse of a song, driven by a ferocious guitar riff and a relentlessly energetic rhythm. Yet, its lyrical content has sparked considerable debate over the years, touching on controversial themes including slavery and forbidden desires. Mick Jagger himself addressed the song's genesis and its provocative nature. In an interview for the liner notes of the compilation Jump Back in 1993, he stated, "The lyric was all to do with the dual combination of drugs and girls. This song was a very instant thing, a definite high point." Later, in a 1995 interview with Jan Wenner for Rolling Stone magazine, Jagger admitted, "God knows what I'm on about on that song. It's such a mishmash, all the nasty subjects in one go. I never would write that song now. I would probably censor myself. I'd think, oh God, I can't just write raw like that." Despite the ongoing discussions surrounding its words, Brown Sugar's undeniable musical potency and its raw, untamed energy have cemented its place as a concert staple and a fan favourite for decades, showcasing the band's willingness to push boundaries, even if those boundaries eventually shifted beneath their feet. From the raw energy of Brown Sugar, we transition to a track that showcases a vastly different, yet equally compelling facet of the Rolling Stones' artistry. Wild Horses, also from the 1971 album Sticky Fingers, is a poignant, melancholic ballad that lays bare a vulnerability rarely seen in their more boisterous offerings.
Wild, wild horses.
Its acoustic beauty and heartfelt lyrics have resonated deeply with listeners for generations.
Can't drag me away.
The origins of Wild Horses are steeped in personal reflection. Keith Richards, the primary musical architect of the song, initially conceived the acoustic ballad during a period of introspection. It's widely understood that he wrote the core of the song about the pain of leaving his then partner, Anita Pallenberg, and their newborn son Marlon, as the band prepared for an extensive American tour.
Wild Horses wouldn't drag me away, meaning you had to go on the road with the Stones. Yeah. It was your calling, and you felt a sense of guilt that you had to leave.
The feeling of being constantly on the road, away from loved ones, is palpable in every strum. Mick Jagger later crafted the lyrics, adding layers of wistful longing and the ache of separation. While the band is often celebrated for their raucous rock and roll, Wild Horses stands as a testament to their profound melodic sensibility and their ability to capture human emotion with a disarming honesty. It's a tender moment in their formidable catalogue, proving that the Stones could indeed whisper as powerfully as they could roar. As we journey further into the Stones' remarkable songbook, we arrive at a track that perfectly encapsulates the disillusionment and changing tides of the late 1960s. You Can't Always Get What You Want, appearing on the 1969 album Let It Bleed, is a sprawling, almost orchestral piece that defies simple categorization.
Now you can't always get what you want.
With its gospel choir, French horn, and the distinctive contribution of Al Kooper on piano and organ, it's a departure from their usual blues rock fare, yet remains quintessentially Stones. The song's lyrical message, delivered with Mick Jagger's characteristic wry cynicism, offers a philosophical take on the era's grand ambitions and ultimate frustrations. It speaks to the idea that while desires may go unfulfilled, life often provides what is truly needed. Jagger explained the essence of the song in interviews, suggesting it was born from a period of social unrest and the idealism of the time. "It was quite a thoughtful piece," he observed. "It reflected a feeling that was going around at the time, sort of a feeling of great optimism, but also a feeling that you're not going to get everything you want." The iconic opening with the London Bach Choir immediately sets a grand, almost hymn-like tone before the band gradually builds in intensity. It's a song that speaks to universal truths, making it as relevant today as it was over 50 years ago. Its complexity and depth showcase the Stones' growing maturity as songwriters and their willingness to embrace broader musical palettes. From the reflective depths of "You Can't Always Get What You Want," we swing into the raucous, swaggering party anthem that is Honky Tonk Women.
She had to heave me right across her shoulder.
It's hard to write a rock tune. Imagine you're sitting in this room, we're in a very nice hotel room. It's very quiet. And trying to write a rock tune with an acoustic guitar, it's kind of hard to get there sometimes. It's like you need an electric guitar, and you need drums, and you need, you don't want to feel constrained.
Released as a single in July 1969, this track arrived just weeks after the tragic death of Brian Jones and served as the introduction of new guitarist Mick Taylor, marking a pivotal moment for the band. Its infectious, rolling rhythm and gritty lyrics made it an instant classic. The song's genesis, perhaps surprisingly, began with a country flavour. Mick Jagger and Keith Richards penned the tune during a holiday in Brazil in late 1968, inspired by the caipiras, or rural inhabitants they observed. An initial, more country-infused version, titled Country Honk, would later appear on the Let It Bleed album.
Just can't seem to drink you off my mind.
However, it was the transformation into the electrified blues rock stomper that captured the world's attention. Keith Richards, in life, vividly recalled the song's undeniable appeal during its creation. It's one of those tracks that you knew was a #1 before you'd finished the motherfucker. Producer Jimmy Miller's distinctive cowbell intro sets the tone before Richards' razor-sharp guitar riff slices through. Bassist Bill Wyman referred to the track as triumphant. It's a song steeped in classic Stones attitude, a celebration of rough-and-tumble living that cemented their reputation as the ultimate rock and roll band. Its raw, unpolished energy is a testament to their enduring power. Exploding onto the airwaves in the spring of 1968, Jumpin' Jack Flash marked a powerful return to the raw, blues-infused rock that was the band's foundation. After the psychedelic experimentation of their Satanic Majesty's request, this single was a visceral, defiant statement, proclaiming the Stones were back and as formidable as ever. Its relentless rhythm and iconic guitar riff immediately grab hold and refuse to let go. The song's origins are steeped in anecdotal charm. According to legend, the title came from a phrase Mick Jagger used to describe the sound of something or someone jumping Jack Flash after a gardener at Keith Richards' country home made a sudden noise. Jagger elaborated on the song's broader meaning in a 1995 interview, stating, "It's about having a hard time and getting out. Just a metaphor for getting out of all the acid things." It was a declaration of resilience, a shake-off of their more experimental phase, and a re-embrace of their roots. Keith Richards' opening riff, distinctive for its open E tuning and a capo on the 7th fret, is instantly recognizable and has become one of the most celebrated in rock history. It's a masterclass in simplicity meeting impact. Charlie Watts' drumming is a driving force, providing the unwavering backbone to Jagger's swaggering vocal delivery. Jumpin' Jack Flash is pure, unadulterated rock and roll, a timeless anthem of defiance and raw power that reaffirmed the Rolling Stones as the greatest rock band in the world. Reaching #1 in both the United Kingdom and the United States in the summer of 1966, Paint It Black is a truly unique entry in the Rolling Stones canon.
And I want to paint it black. No colors anymore, I want them to turn black.
With its distinctive sitar riff and darkly poetic lyrics, it showcased the band's willingness to experiment with exotic sounds while delving into themes of grief and despair.
Yeah, Paint It Black, I'm still wondering what it's about myself. I don't, it is one of those, it's very, I mean, to me, it's half gypsy and half Jewish sort of melody. And it went through so many different sort of convolutions before it ended up as the way that we know it now. all I had is Mick asked me, what's it about? And I said, I don't know, it's just Paint It Black, you know. And so I left so it's a genuine Jagger-Richards collaboration in which I gave him the riff, the song, and the basic idea, and then I left it to Mick to fill in the details. And Mick can be a bit convoluted at times, you know. But
the song was originally conceived as a more straightforward pop number, but a stroke of genius in the studio transformed it. Bill Wyman, the band's bassist, recounted the pivotal moment. I suggested Hammond organ pedals. I lay on the floor under the organ and played a second bass riff on the pedals with my fists at double time.
I think Bill Wyman ended up on B3 organ pedals instead of a bass as well.
This unconventional approach added a deep, resonant foundation, but it was Brian Jones's sitar, an instrument he was still learning to play, that truly gave the song its distinctive, almost eerie, Eastern flavour. Producer Andrew Loog Oldham, upon hearing the new arrangement, immediately recognised its potential, feeling it captured the whimsy that spelt radio. Mick Jagger's lyrics, which would have been perhaps too bleak for a typical pop song, found their perfect home within this melancholic soundscape. The song paints a vivid picture of a world stripped of colour by sorrow, a desperate longing for darkness to match internal anguish. Paint It Black is a testament to the Stones' boundless creativity and their ability to push musical boundaries while delivering chart-topping hits that were anything but conventional. As we approach the pinnacle of our countdown, we arrive at a song that is as infamous as it is brilliant. Sympathy for the Devil.
Nice to meet you, hope you guessed my name. Oh, what's puzzling you? It's the nature of my game.
Released on the 1968 album Beggar's Banquet, this track is a mesmerizing, sinister journey, inviting the listener into the mind of Lucifer himself, observing and influencing humanity's darkest moments throughout history. The recording of Sympathy for the Devil was famously captured in Jean-Luc Godard's 1968 film 1+1, offering a fascinating glimpse into the band's creative process. The song began as a more acoustic, folk blues number, but as the sessions progressed, it evolved into the iconic samba rock masterpiece we know today. Charlie Watts, the band's drumming backbone, reflected on the transformation. According to the Rolling Stones, he recalled that, "The first time I ever heard the song was when Mick was playing it at the front door of a house I lived at in Sussex. He played it entirely on his own, and it was fantastic." He then added that it was Keith Richards who suggested the pivotal shift to a different rhythm, leading to the infectious Latin-infused groove. Watts eventually found his way to a jazz-Latin feel in the style of Kenny Clarke would have played on A Night in Tunisia. Mick Jagger's lyrics are a provocative historical tour, from the crucifixion of Christ to the Russian Revolution and the assassinations of the Kennedys, all seen through the devil's eyes. The repeated whoo-hoo backing vocals, often chanted by anyone present in the studio, including Marianne Faithfull and Anita Pallenberg, add to its unsettling, almost ritualistic atmosphere.
I watch with glee while your kings and queens fought for 10 decades for the gods they made.
Sympathy for the Devil is a daring, intelligent, and utterly compelling piece of music that continues to challenge and enthrall. Just missing the top spot is a song that stands as a stark, chilling masterpiece, capturing the darkening mood of the late 1960s with unparalleled intensity. Gimme Shelter. The opening track from the 1969 album Let It Bleed is a raw, apocalyptic vision, steeped in a sense of foreboding and desperation. It's a sonic reflection of a world on the brink. Keith Richards recounts the origins of the song with a characteristic blend of casual genius and profound insight. In his autobiography, Life, he describes writing it during a particularly gloomy day in London. It was just a terrible fucking day, this incredible storm over London. So I got into that mode, looking at all these people, running like hell. Leaning on the same open chords that had become his signature, he crooned, "Oh, a storm is threatening, my very life today." Sounded good. He continued to strum, added another line, "If I don't get some shelter, oh yeah, I'm gonna fade away." But what elevates Gimme Shelter to legendary status is the breathtaking vocal performance of Mary Clayton. Her powerful, almost gospel-infused wails near the end of the song are pure, unadulterated emotion, so intense that her voice famously cracked, a moment left intentionally in the final mix. Richards has often spoken of her contribution, describing how they got her out of bed in the middle of the night while pregnant, and she delivered a performance that transcended mere backing vocals.
This part right here, darling, you must sing about the rape and the murder. I said, child, I'm here by myself. I'm not trying to sing anything about rape and murder. It's just a shout away. Rape, murder. That was the lyric to the song. Right. I said, you got to explain this to me. So they explained the rape, and I said, oh, okay, I get the gist of the song. But while singing that, I don't know what it was, something just came over me. Like, all the things that was going on in the world at that time, yes. The racism and the killing of this person, the shooting of that person, right. And all the civil rights stuff that was going on. I was like screaming to the top of my lungs, just a shout away, just a shout away, oh, children. I mean, it was just all in me. Oh. So I saw them hooting and hollering. They hooting and hollering back up in the booth. You know about the booth. And I said, okay, I'm gonna do it one more time. They said, oh, do it one more. So I did it one more time. I said, okay, is that enough? Let me give you one for safety. And I did it again. They still hooting and hollering and carrying on. So I was waving good night and it was done. I said thank you and good night and that was it. Thus, Gimme Shelter.
You get lucky sometimes, Richards mused about the song's creation. It was a shitty day. I had nothing better to do. The combined forces of Mick Jagger's urgent lead, Richards' searing guitar work, and Clayton's visceral power create a timeless, urgent cry for refuge in a turbulent world. And now, the undisputed champion, the song that catapulted the Rolling Stones into the stratosphere of global superstardom and remains their most iconic, instantly recognizable anthem, I Can't Get No Satisfaction.
And the best songs we've ever written are the songs that we wrote really together, I think.
What would you say those are?
Well, they're most of the ones that everyone knows, you know. I mean, I don't know, the most popular ones, you might say, you know, from Satisfaction and all that.
Released in the summer of 1965, this track perfectly encapsulated the burgeoning sense of youthful alienation and rebellion, becoming an anthem for a generation. The birth of Satisfaction is the stuff of rock and roll legend. Keith Richards famously dreamt the main guitar riff in his sleep in a motel room in Clearwater, Florida. He woke up, recorded the riff on a portable cassette player, and then promptly fell back asleep. He later recounted this moment saying, I woke up in the middle of the night, put the tape recorder on, recorded the riff and the line, I can't get no satisfaction, and then passed out again. In the morning, I looked at the tape, and there was this riff, and then about 40 minutes of me snoring.
Satisfaction is basically a blues, you know, it's just a different form. It was just that. I can't get no satisfaction. I can't get me no satisfaction, babe, 'cause I try and I try. Yeah, I try. Yeah, I try.
Mick Jagger then took that unforgettable riff and penned lyrics that articulated a profound sense of frustration with commercialism and the mundane aspects of modern life. It was a potent combination. While initially hesitant about the song's commercial viability, particularly with the fuzzy, almost overdriven sound of the riff, its impact was immediate and monumental. Mick Jagger, in a touch of youthful bravado that he later reflected on, once boasted, "I'd rather be dead than still singing Satisfaction when I'm 45.
I think I could do this particular kind of physical show for about another, say, 5 years. So I said to myself last year, well, if I figure only I can do it for 5 years, this kind of show. After that, it's going to look like Barry Manilow. Or I can still sing, but, I can't do all this other nonsense.
He, of course, continued to sing it for many decades beyond that, a testament to the song's enduring power and his own remarkable longevity. Satisfaction isn't just a song. Its raw energy, rebellious spirit, and a riff that is both simple and utterly revolutionary cemented the Rolling Stones' position as the definitive voice of a restless generation. It's the sound of rock and roll itself, distilled into 3 minutes and 43 seconds of pure, unadulterated genius. It's why, when we talk about the greatest songs by the Rolling Stones, Satisfaction stands alone at the very top. For more Rolling Stones videos, just click the thumbnail on screen to keep watching.